referring to Dalai Lama's wonderful letter acknowledging our efforts, he mentioned this phrase, an education of the heart. This theme was inspired by our keynote speaker last year, Kabir Helminski, who's an author, editor, and also a Sufi teacher. I would love it if you could also keep this theme in mind, throughout the summit and maybe reflect on it. When I talk about heart, our dear friend Victoria Edwards' mother is here. I said we have to name one of our scholarships for Victoria, and thanks to their generous support, we have the seed funding to make that happen in partnership with Fashion Institute of Technology. Empathy dares us to move beyond the habitual borders of the self to reach toward another human being, animal, art object, or the natural world. We need the self to empathize, but we also have to leave it behind. This is one of empathy's mysteries, but it is also its promise. We have presenters waiting online that will join us from around the world through Zoom. Alison Jane will give us her recent research findings on the relationship of curiosity and empathy. Nitin Das from India, he will talk about how he designs nature walks for empathy. Tenzin Topdan from the Tibet Museum, he's going to join us from Dharamsala. Then we will have a dialogue with Sahba Amenikia and Pınar Demiral, and they have this amazing program called Flying Carpet Festival. Susie Wilkening, she will give us the first insight on her ongoing museums-wide survey. Philippa Hughes, she will talk about her new project on creating dialogue spaces in museums. Amy Wilson, author of Empathy for Change. And then we will have this wonderful workshop by Ivel. Then we will conclude the day with informal reflections with Omar and Cheryl and all of us. Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here on the second day of the Designing for Empathy Summit and Workshops. Our first presenter is Monique Davis. Then Nathan will follow her. And then we'll transition into the Freer Auditorium to participate in a tap dance workshop with Andrew. Thank you, Andrew, for being here. Then we will transition to the Islamic Arts Gallery, where we will have a dialogue. Then after our talk, we will be with Mary Hall Circus, and she created a workshop specifically for this location. Day 3 of our Designing for Empathy Summit and Workshops. We're at the Phillips Collection.
I'm Dorothy Kaczynski. I'm the Bradenburg Director and CEO of the Phillips Collection. And I'm so glad to welcome back Elif and all of her colleagues and the Summit on Empathy in Museums. It's so central to our core values at the Phillips. I think the voice of the artist, the platform that museums, libraries, other cultural institutions can give to bring together artists and other creative thinkers, educators, will make a difference.
So we have this beautiful program today. Thank you for our speakers again. We will start with Yulia Kravchenko. She's from Ukraine originally, and she'll tell more about herself. And then we have Anita Novak, a longtime collaborator online. This is the first time I'm meeting her in person, so excited. Then we have Zoran Ivsevic and Pablo Tinio. They have this presentation and then a workshop in the gallery, which is this beautiful gallery space. So that's where we'll spend our afternoon. Then lovely Donna and Aparna will conclude the summit, the 3 days with this meditation, art-inspired meditation. And I cannot think of a better way to conclude it.
Art and culture has the ability to inform us, to expand our understandings, broaden our perspectives, and doing it with a bunch of practitioners and sharing stories was really as enriching for me as I hope it was for them.
And this was my first Empathy Summit, and one thing that struck me was kind of just how many different ways there are to interpret empathy as a construct, and also how valuable it is for people to connect over these different interpretations.
I appreciated that the past 3 days we got just like a whole range of different things connected to empathy, both from the research side to the practice side, and not just like one very special setting, but also like art museums, science museums. There were workshops where we got to like do some experimental work and see how we could actually apply empathy in our work. And there were also things that were just more about like discussions and conversations, which I really appreciated.
This is my 4th Designing for Empathy Summit, and I really have just an increased sense of hope after these 3 days together. I mean, it was overwhelming. There were so many stories of things that people are doing all over the country and even the world.